This is a YouTube first for me. Now this is a drill that I've shown so many of my students down here at Mottram Hall when I've been coaching, and it's been hugely popular. I'm going to show you today how you can actually start returning that golf club with your hands ahead of impact. None of this anymore. We're going to start moving that club where we get those hands ahead. Now that's essential because that will take our strike up this face to around the middle. We're going to see more ball speed, better strike, and you won't even feel that ball come off the face. Now you might be thinking, well Alex, what does that mean? I'm going to be really ambitious and say this. On average, golfers have got one club longer. So I've got 6-iron in my hand here. Whatever your 6-iron yardage was, that's now going to become your 7. Let's just start with a little bit of logic. Now I know sometimes golf doesn't feel logical, but this really is. Before we even go through these 3 stages, just have a little bit of a check for me. 2 things. Where are your hands at address and your ball position, okay? Because it really has a big impact. So the first thing I would always say is, if you're a golfer that starts with your hands behind the golf ball, but we want to get our hands ahead of impact, there's almost that much more there for your hands to travel, isn't there? So you've almost got to do extra work. Whereas if we sort of start with those hands ahead, we can find it a lot easier to return to that same spot. So first thing, one of those little checkpoints is check your hands are slightly ahead. Now to aid that, check your ball position because it has a huge influence. Look, if I put my ball really far back in my stance, now remember, this is 6-iron, it's really easy to get my hands ahead, but as I move my ball forward, blimey heck, that's going to feel really awkward, isn't it, having it there? So just a simple reference with 6-iron, and you can work from this. If I dangle my club from my sternum, it's just ahead, right? It's not all the way up here, it's certainly not all the way back here. I would say it's a golf ball and a half ahead of my sternum as that starting point. Right, let's rock and roll through these 3 stages. So the first of 3 stages, I want you just to grip. I would say it's maybe 6-7 inches short of that head. And you should then feel as though that golf club is running up your left hand side. The beauty of this is you can get a feeling of this without actually getting some golf balls hit. Don't worry, it is important. We are going to integrate this onto the ball, but this is just a starting point. So you can see here, I'm in this starting position for stage number 1. And now to attach this to stage number 1, I need you to swing up to the top, swing back down, and avoid this hitting your left hand side, okay? So you can really see there, relative to the golf ball, if I was to go again and just show you this here, imagine I was addressing that ball. All I've done is extend that golf club up for me to grip it just short of that head. Stage number 1 is I'm swinging up, I'm swinging down. Imagine I'm hitting that golf ball, but this club is running up my left hand side. So that is all we have to do for stage number 1. Now moving to stage number 2, all I want you to do is release the club now from your hands. Bring your hips back. That's where your hands start. Now from player cam, what you'll see is from this position right here, my hands are covering my left foot in the sense of I can't really see it. I can just about see my toes. And this is going to show you from player cam exactly what you can see. Now if my hands were behind, I could see so much of my left foot. My hands are ahead, it's very, very hard for me to see. All you might need to do is just sort of shuffle away slightly, get that distance from the golf ball correct. But stage 1 and 2 is very, very easy in the sense of where do my hands need to start? Because if I make the swing, where do my hands fall? Let me repeat this again. So we get close to that golf ball. We imagine we're addressing that golf ball. We get the right ball position. We swing up for stage number 1. We swing back down, all stage number 1. Stage number 2, release the club. Okay, let it sit down. Move the hips back. Shuffle back. That's where your hands want to fall. Because can you see, right? If you make the swing where your hands fall ahead, that's where they fall naturally. So we haven't got this gap to try and make up. Now, obviously, that isn't realistic for me to stand here and say, go on, do that. It really works on the golf course because how on earth are you able to do that? But I want you to use that as a way of getting a reference point relative to you because I often say this, right? My swing's not your swing. Your swing's not somebody else's who watched this video swing. It's your swing. So that gives you a reference point relative to the ball position for that club. Where do my hands have to go if I make that move, relax the hips and let the club down? I get the exact point where roughly it should be covering my left foot from that player cam perspective. So the beauty of this is, the final stage, I said there was only 3. We've got to go, right, okay, Alex, well, what's that starting position? How do I achieve that on the course? Well, simply get your right ball position. Key factor. I really illustrated that at the start, but as we put our left hand on, I don't really want to see my left foot, okay? Now that's again from the player cam perspective and all relative to you. I'm relatively small, but this is relative to your stature and your position. I don't want to see that left foot. Now, if I hit one away, it's going to feel seriously aggressive, but that's what I want it to feel, because with their ability now to put pressure onto that golf ball and through that hit. And that's something I promise you you're going to enjoy. So your reference point out on the golf course is just simply cover up your left foot when you put your head down towards your feet. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel here for 3 simple golf tips that I know are really simple, really easy to integrate, but actually no jargon, that improves your game.